softened against Kratsooo, and Sp4ghet also. I've played against him a few times. Both great players. One of them playing for a longer time, one of them playing for just a year.
But and the fact that Sp4ghet can rise to a World Cup caliber player in such a short amount of time is completely insane to me. Knowing how much it takes, how much knowledge, you can't just store an entire book in your brain. You have to repeat. It's all about repetition over and over and over again. And for him to be able to do all of this in just a year and make the World Cup, I think is incredibly impressive.
Absolutely. And now we are moving into the moving game, which is probably more of a Kratsooo strength. And we start off in a very big country here. It should be Russia. Let's see what the players do here. Maybe searching for phone codes in Russia could be a play. I'm pretty sure that Kratsooo knows them. I see no phone codes actually inside. Or I do see some, but they are mobile. And those are exactly what Sp4ghet is looking at right now.
Remember, it is moving, people, but these guys have just opted not to move yet because there's so much info to be found on the screen. Now we see them start moving. But that's, again, I mean, going back to what we were saying just before, they like to take their time.
Absolutely.
They play it slow, they play it smart, and of course, knowing that your opponent likes to do the same, there's no reason to stress in trying to get info fast because you're not expecting your opponent to plonk it like full speed early anyway.
That is totally correct. Kratsooo had a great run in the EMEA Championship, where he was able to defeat Blinky in the quarterfinals, who we just saw going flawlessly in the group stage yesterday. And Kratsooo won basically all of his moving games. So with the slow approach, he really knows how to take his time and get the right info. He's plonking Southern Russia here, which I think is the correct play.
Yeah, both in and around the same area. We say plonk. He's just a couple of 100 meters off. Sp4ghet, what a start.
Great start by Sp4ghet. He must have found a town name there, which I did not see. Definitely possible, but this one might be a bit more tricky since it's India. India on moving, quite a hard country, because most of the players are not able to read any of the language.
And India, a country that we know, at least from Kratsooo, has mentioned it, that this is one of the countries he does not prefer, like one of his least countries to have to play. So we'll see if maybe he can get something going here. Of course, again, there is a ton of info available. Issue is, can you read that info?
That is true, but we see the line on top of the letters this time, which I mentioned in the Jake Lions game. The line would suggest that this is Hindi or Marathi script. And with that, we should be more in the northern parts of India, as we see the players zooming into... I mean, we also have a town name. There's Salamatpur on Kratsoo's screen right now. Maybe they're scanning for that, but...
Could be.
I feel like that's probably gonna be quite small.
Again, I was gonna say taking time, but then they both guess very quickly right thereafter. Both in the vicinity, but once again, it's Sp4ghet closer, just 4.5 kilometers outside of the city proper.
Great guesses, both of them having no troubles at all with that difficult India location, having no troubles adjusting to that different type of address. Maybe they had some Latin script, so they were able to use that. Now we are in Japan, which is, Sp4ghet's home country.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Sheena yesterday have some really, really good rounds whenever he got to play Japan. We saw just before rounds being won in Australia because you have an Australian player able to bring those home. So maybe Sp4ghet already able to put himself a bit ahead. Maybe he can extend that lead here.
Might be a trend of today. People getting big points on their own home country.
True.
But we will see. Maybe Kratsooo can make a stop to that trend.
He's reading it, but not liking what he's seeing. Maybe more of a generic sign. I can't say that I speak Japanese.
I think Kratsooo saw a phone code there. I don't think he can read Japanese though, so Sp4ghet should have the advantage.
You would think so.
I believe that this is northern Japan. With the phone code, I think Kratsooo is just going into the guess here.
This might be a good idea, try to play it a bit faster against Sp4ghet and not giving him the time to get the extra info.
I agree. On Japan, definitely that's what Kratsoo's strategy should be. As soon as he's confident with the phone code, he was. Kratsoo's closer.
Oh, and Sp4ghet was right there too. He was on the pin, but opted to go further towards the southwest. Kratsooo, though, stuck with his initial guess. You can see as Sp4ghet, that's a frustrating one to lose.
That is frustrating, losing 1,000 points on your own home country. And now we are in a more difficult location. I believe that this should be France. This poll is found in France.
I mean, what
Spain.
better? Going from Japan to France. And Kratsooo, well, you won in Japan. Let's see if maybe Sp4ghet can get some revenge in your home country.
We see Sp4ghet like resetting his mental there.
I
feel like he definitely didn't like how that Japan round went, but maybe now is the time to strike back on Kratsoo's home. Oh wait, actually,
it looks Spanish.
It looks Spanish. Yeah, it does. The poll, as I said, exists in both countries. I just thought that the landscape looks more like.
So is there a thing where if you know something exists in both countries, you should look to go close to the border between those countries, or can it be anywhere?
I mean, no. If it exists in both countries, it exists
it's just
everywhere. And if this is Spain, actually, the French-looking landscape wouldn't be close to France. It would probably be near Galicia or Asturias, which is exactly... not exactly where Kratsooo is swimming right now, but pretty close. So, yeah, this should be northern Spain. I think it's pretty close to Portugal, maybe?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Both of them taking their time here. We are going far out on the western side, at least.
Sp4ghet is further west. This will be big points potentially.
Exactly. No time left. Let's see what's going to happen. Kratsooo is going to fall on that one. Sp4ghet closer. Was all the way out towards the western side, and 2,000 damage done here in the... Still, I mean, before half point of the game, a lot of damage gone towards Kratsooo.
Absolutely. That was a great guess by Sp4ghet there. Definitely recognizing the vegetation there, and now we are in a big country. We see a Russia location. We see also that this is like a slight tinge of red on the Google card.
Okay.
Small stuff like this can help players immensely if they study the country, because there's different Google cars that drove through different parts of the countries, and there is some Russia experts that have memorized all of the roads where the red car drove. So it is possible that if one of these players has a Russia strength, that they will be able to use that to their advantage.
Doesn't look like neither of them have looked at the card just yet, but Sp4ghet...
They probably noticed it subconsciously though.
Yeah, probably.
I think that says Tobolsk on that sign, right? Maybe I read it incorrectly. It's possible. No, I don't think it does, actually. But yeah, we see a human guess by Sp4ghet. Quick login. I think he's pretty confident with that guess.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's been, for the most part, it's been all the way down to the last couple of seconds, and they both are in the correct city. Tobolsk, correct?
It is indeed Tobolsk, yeah.
And a close one, that too.
So yeah, it did say that on the sign. Great recognition by both of them.
Definitely.
And now we get an interesting round. We are at a gas station. Wow. Google drivers also sometimes need fuel.
Yeah, true. True. Not an electric car confirmed, as we make our way into round number 6.
Let's see if the players are getting fueled up by this one.
Ooh.
Maybe able to get some big points on this round, who knows?
Good thing about gas stations is usually around there you get a lot of street signs, a lot of info, and there you go.
Kratsooo has good information
that is
already.
Exactly what you want.
But Kratsooo has found more information. He looked at the Beaufort West sign, which is a pretty big city in southern South Africa. Sp4ghet locked it in first, though. Let's see if Kratsooo actually saw that Beaufort West sign or not, because I don't think he did. He would know the town name.
Yeah.
He would know the town name of Beaufort West if he saw it. Oh no, he's going further away. So it'll be big damage for Sp4ghet.
3.5 times multiplier. Sp4ghet is in the right city. It's going to be almost a 5K for him as well, and that's going to be enough for Sp4ghet to take round number 1. A sigh of relief. He lost 1,000 points in Japan, but still able to turn it around and come out victorious.
You have to say that Japan was his only loss in that game.
Yeah.
Kratsooo as a moving specialist, that is a very surprising result for me personally. Great plays by Sp4ghet all around there. I think he's got to be feeling really good about that.
True. Incredibly impressive game. And I think a lot of them came down to those last second guessings of yourself where you go like, I'm just going to adjust it. And then I feel like for Kratsooo, the times that he did adjust like that, he was on the losing end. Where for Sp4ghet, the times he did it, it just gave him that many more points.
I think that is absolutely true. And now we are moving into the no-move game. They are not able to search for info anymore.
Yeah,
will we have as many rural rounds as in the first game?
I mean, for the sake of the players, I hope not. But let's see. Let's see where this round number 2, or say round number 1 of game number 2 is going to take us.
I see a lot of signs here.
That's good, because I don't.
Yeah. It is once again the middle of nowhere. But yeah, you are absolutely correct. We have an Australian bollard there. And I think Sp4ghet mentioned on his sheet that Australia is one of his weaknesses. Let's see if Kratsooo can capitalize on that.
Well, Kratsooo didn't like India. He was forced to play one. Now Sp4ghet is forced to play here in Australia as well. Kratsooo instantly looking towards the northeastern side of the country. Let's see if Sp4ghet agrees. No, he's further straight north.
I see both. I understand both guesses because you find this. As you can see, this camera quality is not amazing, which you usually don't find where Sp4ghet is, or like very rarely. But it does look like there. So I'm actually interested to see where it is, because this looks very much like Northern Australia. Maybe
big distance.
Kratsoo's Queensland.
Oh, he's looking over now. It's the last second readjustments. He's not liking it, and it's even further west.
Wow.
You can see in the face of Kratsooo as well going, okay, I was not seeing that at all. So that's a lot of damage coming through to start things here. 1,700 damage in round number 1.
That is massive damage in round 1, absolutely. And Sp4ghet definitely just doing what he did in the moving game, just capitalizing on it and just continuing to build up pressure on Kratsooo here.
And this is the first time we see Sp4ghet actually go from, like, when he second guesses himself not up to move, because you saw him hovering there with a couple of seconds left over towards where Kratsooo was, but saying, you know what, no, I'm gonna stick with this. It definitely, I mean, you can see the mind games being played with these two players.
Now we have a rural Europe location. This looks more like Slovenia to me, maybe Croatia, maybe Austria, something like that. Although, I mean, it could be a lot of places in Europe, to be honest.
Beautiful farmland.
But the architecture kind of looks like Alpine to me. Maybe like Czechia is possible as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Interesting to see.
I can see that. As you say that, Sp4ghet is... Oh, he's looking towards Canada.
Actually, he might be right. Yeah, actually...
Oh, and we're in Norway. Oh my god, this is continent difference.
I know what Sp4ghet is doing here. Sp4ghet is going for US or Canada because we see the front of the Google car, which is more common over there. Kratsooo has not realized that.
Kratsooo is in Norway. This is dangerous.
But the thing is, this round looks nothing like the US or Canada. So this might be a tricky one. Maybe it's a baity location.
We saw round 2 finish a couple of times yesterday. They're pretty rare. Let's see now who's going to get it. It is going to be Sp4ghet, and you can see on Kratsoo's face that was a massive hit. 5,800 damage, and in just 2 rounds, Kratsooo is torn apart.
So as I told you before, losing 0-2 to Radussi does not mean anything about your skills. That was an amazing performance by Sp4ghet there.
And Kratsooo came from an insane 2-1 win against Amani as well. He was coming into this one feeling good, but you can see here on his face, well, he is confused. He's shocked about what just happened. It's very rare that we see 2 players of this caliber have guesses that far apart, but you said
it looked like Europe.
Yeah.
The round looked like Europe. I think the only way you could get US there is basically maybe the trees, potentially. Potentially, in hindsight, the trees looked a little bit more like North America, but the very small meta details that I think Sp4ghet picked up on there that led him towards getting the right
incredible.
answer.
Incredible. Sometimes it goes round 10 and a game can take almost an hour, and sometimes snap of a finger and it's done for. A tough Australia into a tough Canada. It's gonna have Sp4ghet winning, so let's hop down to the stage and hear what he has to say after that phenomenal game.
Sp4ghet, man, that was insane. You only lost 1 round in both of those games. How do you feel?
I'm pleasantly surprised, I think, yeah. I think that went a lot better than I was kind of expecting it to go. I think a lot of the rounds, especially in moving, I could solve most of them, so pretty happy with that.
Yeah, the 1 round you did lose was actually on Japan when you moved off at the last second. How did that feel? Yeah,
I saw a Niigata poll and then I ignored it for some reason because I found a place name that looked vaguely similar, but it was one of the ones that don't show up on the map, so I kind of trolled that one a bit, but it didn't really matter in the end, so happy with it.
Yeah, all good. Well, with a performance like that, how are you feeling going forward?
I think it's a good sign. It's the one game I have on stage as well, so I feel pretty good about that one. My first match didn't go as well, so hopefully it kind of picks up from here.
Nice. Well, amazing, man. Good luck on the rest of the tourney.